Maintaining your MSR stove ensures safe and efficient performance. This video pertains to MSR Whisperlite International and Whisperlite Universal stoves with flat stainless steel pot supports. If you have a wire leg Whisperlite or Whisperlite International, please refer to the maintenance video for Whisperlite and previous generation Whisperlite International stoves. Two types of maintenance kits are available for each model of MSR liquid fuel stove. The annual maintenance kit includes tools and parts needed to perform basic maintenance on your stove and pump. The Expedition Service Kit includes everything you need for comprehensive maintenance and repair. To perform all the maintenance described in this video, you will need the Whisperlite Expedition Service Kit. After several months of frequent use, or after using fuel that is dirty or contains high levels of additives, deposits may have built up in the fuel line and be clogging the jet. If your stove's performance is compromised, first try and clear the jet by using the stove's built-in shaker needle. If the stove still performs poorly, it may be necessary to conduct a comprehensive cleaning of the fuel line and jet. If this does not improve performance, then perform maintenance on the pump. For pump maintenance, please watch the pump maintenance video. This covers the proper maintenance for all MSR pumps. Close the control valve on the pump to turn off the stove and wait 5 minutes for it to cool down. Disconnect the stove's fuel line from the pump and shake the stove up and down. You will hear the shaker pin clearing the jet. Reattach the fuel line to the pump. Prime and run the stove as usual. In most cases, the stove will once again perform well. Over time, these deposits can build up to the point where they cannot be cleared by the shaker needle. In these cases, the stove may require more extensive cleaning of the jet and fuel line. Turn off the stove again and let it cool for 5 minutes. Disconnect the fuel line from the pump. Fold the pot supports to their packed position. Unscrew the priming cup and remove the wick. Slide out the fuel line generator loop, invert it, and place the elbow of the fuel line back into the mixer tube. Using the jet and cable tool, unscrew the stove's jet and remove the shaker needle. Make sure you do not bend the fuel line generator loop. Manually clear the jet using the jet cleaning wire or the needle on the shaker. The hole in your stove's jet is very small, but can be seen when held up to a light. If the jet has a blockage that you cannot clear, then replace it with a new one from the Expedition Service Kit, making sure it is the same jet type. There are 6 types of jet provided in the Whisperlite Expedition Service Kit. Most are marked with a letter code stamped on the head of the jet, indicating which fuels they can be used with. 3 of these jets are specific to the current models of Whisperlite International and Whisperlite Universal. 2 of the jets are specific to the older model Whisperlite International. The unmarked G jet is for both the current and previous models of standard Whisperlite. The UG jet is used for white gas and unleaded auto fuel on the flat stainless steel pot support models. The UK jet is used for kerosene. The UC jet is used with the Whisperlite Universal for canister fuels. The IG jet is used for white gas and unleaded auto fuel in older model Whisperlite Internationals. The K jet is used for kerosene in older model Whisperlite Internationals. For Whisperlite Universal stoves, it is necessary to first unscrew the fuel adapter from the fuel line before accessing the fuel line cable. Slide the cable tool over the tip of the fuel line cable and grab the cable by tilting the tool at an angle, then pull it out. The cable may need to be loosened with a common lubricant, such as WD-40 or pump cup oil. Wipe the cable clean and reinsert it into the fuel line. Using 5-inch strokes, move the cable back and forth about 20 times to remove any deposits in the line. Remove the cable completely and wipe it clean. The Whisperlite Universal requires the liquid fuel adapter to be reinstalled to complete this step. Reattach the fuel line to the pump and secure it with the latch. Pressurize the bottle with 15 strokes of the pump. Making sure that there are no ignition sources or flames nearby, open the valve and flush 3 to 4 tablespoons of fuel through the stove and into a container. Always operate the fuel bottle with the valve handle facing up. Safely dispose of the fuel used to flush your stove. Turn off the valve and detach the fuel line from the pump. Disconnect the fuel adapter if working on a Whisperlite Universal. Push the cable back into the fuel line until it is almost completely inserted. The Whisperlite Universal requires the liquid fuel adapter to be reinstalled to complete this step. Replace the shaker needle and the jet. To do this, place the shaker needle inside the jet before screwing it in. Invert the jet generator loop assembly and place the elbow of the fuel line into the mixer tube. Use the cable tool to ensure that the jet is tightly fastened. Slide the fuel line generator loop back into position. If using the Whisperlite International or Whisperlite Universal, be sure to replace the wick before securely fastening the priming cup. Whisperlite Universal stoves have an interchangeable fuel adapter at the end of the fuel line. It is necessary to inspect the fuel adapter swivel O-rings at the end of the fuel line when servicing your stove. Inspect the O-rings. If they are cracked or damaged, remove them with a safety pin and replace them immediately with new ones from the service kit. Lubricate the O-rings with pump cup oil and reinstall the fuel line into the liquid fuel adapter, making sure it is properly tightened. Prime and run the stove. If the stove is still not running at full capacity, then repeat the cleaning process. Regular stove maintenance ensures that your stove performs well for years to come. It is recommended that you perform this maintenance before taking the Whisperlite on expeditions or long trips.